My dad died about 40 years ago, and my mother established a scholarship at Nicolet in his memory, and it was a nursing scholarship, right? And Dad had been a career Air Force officer. My mother was a flight nurse in World War II, and so this was the Pat Hoeper Nursing Scholarship, and it was an endowed scholarship at Nicolet College. And that's really how things got started. Then our family continued to fund that scholarship, eventually created a little bit of a family charitable trust to fund it. As Mom got older, Barbara and I started worrying a little bit about the scholarship, and we started making personal grants for the winners to be spent each year in addition to the endowment. And Barbara kind of kept track of that and kept track of how the endowment for the nursing scholarship was going and what more needed to be done. And she got involved pretty heavily with Heather Shalek, who works for the Nicolet Foundation.
I started talking with Heather, and I probably talked to Heather for 10 years, and we kept figuring out what to do and what was needed. And finally, actually last year, I think I met her for the first time. And so it's just been, a good experience knowing, and she's kept us informed about what the scholarships were doing. And we've always had notices and videos from the recipients, which was really nice.
One of the things we found out was sometimes the scholarship wasn't quite enough for the needs of the students, right? Because it's one thing to have the tuition paid for and your books and materials paid for. But if your car breaks down or you need new tires or something like that, that becomes something else. And one of the great things that Nicolet College does is they have a special fund that can fund some of those needs for the students. But really the focus, I think, for us has been what is it that makes northern Wisconsin better as a community.
And I also know that here in Nicolet, what seems to be very important is the students seem to go, when they graduate, back into the community. So you don't lose them. They're there, you get nurses, you get technical people, and it helps the community, and they get, to improve things where they live.
We got a letter just recently from, I think it was Lena Simons, who was the recipient this year, and she said some of the same things that Barbara said. She said it's just wonderful to be able to have a professional degree, be able to go to work, and not face the debt, because if you have the debt, you might get pulled away from your community. You might have to go someplace else where maybe the pay is a little higher, or you can help pay back the debt. And by helping to fund these scholarships, and I think it's a double benefit, right? It's not that you're just giving money to help the community. The recipients of the scholarships come back into the community and help the community even more. We give the scholarship to help the students, but it's the result of that is the students helping the community and really helping to hold the community together, because if you don't have good health care in a community, you're not going to have a community for very long. One important thing about philanthropy, and that we've been lucky to know some philanthropists who have more national prominence than we'll ever have. And so one of the things to know is the example that they give to us, that somebody has to lead the way. We don't think of ourselves in that way, but we like to follow the lead and get inspiration from others. And if we're ever lucky enough to provide any inspiration, I think that'd be great. I think that's an important part of philanthropy.